Alright, so we got a new METROMS vessel class tier list. Huge balance patch happened like a couple days ago. And I made a different tier list. Why not just make a METROMS vessel one too, so y'all know what's good for METROMS vessel? Let's get into it, starting with Assassin. I'm gonna put Assassin in A. Low A, by the way, low A. Because Assassin is always gonna be good against METROMS vessel. DOT is pretty good against METROMS vessel. It's not that great, but it's not the best, but it's good. You can bring some assassins. Dolahan Assassin goes really good. You can debuff him a lot, take away his wings pretty easily. Overall good. Berserker is still S tier. Berserker is still S tier for METROMS vessel. You still do insane damage. You can still one-shot the Shade Blades. You can still do some crazy damage to him, sunder him, apply a bunch of debuffs to him. Berserker didn't really fall off too much when it comes to METROMS vessel. I'm gonna be honest with you, alright? And let's get to Blade Dancer. I'll put Blade Dancer in like, I'll put it above Assassin. I'll put it mid A. You see, Flowing Dance does insane damage now. Impaling Strike does insane damage now. But they're both single target, you know what I mean? What are you doing against the Shade Blades as a Blade Dancer? Actually, you know what? I'll put it below Assassin. Like, what are you doing against the Shade Blades as a Blade Dancer? All you can do is attack METROMS vessel, and I've only really seen the Flowing Dance do like upwards of like 800. But that's not with maximum setup. That's with a little bit of setup. But either way, it's not really gonna do crazy amounts to METROMS vessel. Not as much as Berserker at all. Brawler, I'll put it in B. You know, it's Brawler. With the party table proficiency, you can kill the Shade Blades, so that's pretty damn good. But other than that, you don't really do much damage. You don't really do much at all, actually, as a Brawler. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really do much against METROMS vessel. You don't debuff too much. All you have are physical attacks, which he's resistance against. And let's move on to Dark Wraith. Dark Wraith is trash for METROMS vessel. Dark Wraith has always been trash for METROMS vessel. I just want to let y'all know that, like, it can kill the Shade Blades maybe with like the prime setup. And here's the thing, right? You can't really set up too much during METROMS vessel. So you're basically just there. You're just sitting there as a Dark Wraith. Because Dark Wraith's biggest strengths are stun and that hex that it has in the mastery, that the mastery for Dark Core Eruption, right? Which both of those don't work against METROMS vessel. So what's the point? Literally, what's the point of bringing a Dark Wraith? Let's move on to Elementalist. Elementalist is sitting pretty in low S, very low S. Actually, I might even just put it high A. I think I will put it high A. Yeah. Elementalist, high A, pretty damn good. You can one-shot the Shade Blades. You can debuff Metrom quite a bit if you have Chaos Orb or something. You can do some pretty good DPS. Like, you can whittle down Metrom's Vessel and take out the Shade Blades instantly. I don't know what else you would want, you know what I mean? You can also debuff a lot with Elementalist, which is pretty good. Hexer D. I mean, I'll put it above Dark Wraith in D. They made it so that Hexer's Hex now gets downgraded to vulnerable against Metrom's Vessel. So if you Hex Metrom's Vessel, it makes him vulnerable instead. But like, Hexer just sucks against Metrom's Vessel. The only thing that Hexer can do against Metrom's Vessel is when you inverse Abyss and he uses Oblivion. If you time it right, he uses Oblivion and you inverse all of like the debuffs onto him, which is pretty decent. But that's A, it's situational, and B, it's still really not that crazy. You can apply a bunch of Hex to him, but like, I mean, it doesn't even really matter. If you use a multi-hit, they're all going to go away. What's the point in applying Hex to a boss with so much damage resistance anyway, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's all it's really, that's just one little niche that it has. Other than that, it's literally useless. It can debuff him a little bit. Wow, just use a Dangerous Mixture, you know what I mean? Dark Glare is worse than Dangerous Mixture. A super move is worse than a subclass move. Whatever. Alright, whatever. Impaler's gonna sit in high B, actually. I might even be inclined to put it in low A. Which actually I will. I will put it in low A. I'll put it above, I'll put it mid A, actually. Because that Blood Eruption, that can one-shot the Shade Blades now. That's an easy one-shot Shade Blades. You can do some pretty decent DPS against Metrom's Vessel as well. You know, you can just hit him with the Rending Barrage, hit him with the Blood Burst. You can heal yourself up quite a bit, so you have good sustainability. So I'll put it above Blade Dancer. I won't put it above Assassin exactly, because you can't debuff a crazy amount with it. You can only really apply Bleed, right? So yeah. What's his name? Lancer, my bad. Lancer, I'm gonna put it below Brawler and B. I mean, it's pretty mediocre against Metrom's Vessel. Just go Paladin instead of having a shield class that barely does any damage, and you can heal on dodge. Wow. You need to bring 5 party members anyway. When is he going to be targeting you? You know what I mean? That's such a niche thing. And your damage isn't too crazy. The cooldowns are short though, but I'll give it that. But yeah, there's just better classes out there. I'll put Monk above. Yeah, I'll put Monk like. Yeah, I'll put it above Brawler. The flame drop proficiency, even without the flame drop proficiency, you can do pretty good damage to the Shade Blade. I don't know about one-shotting them without setup, but you know the debuffs you can apply with Monk are better than Brawler. You know the debuffs you can apply with Monk are pretty damn decent. So you can just debuff him down, add some burn, but it's still not great. You know what I mean? It's just like high B against Metrom's Vessel. Necro, I'll put it. Where would I put Necro? I might put Necro in top of D or low C, but I'll put it in top of D for now. I mean, bro, what is a Necro doing against Metrom's Vessel, dude? What are you gonna do? Summon a skeleton and do 50 damage a turn? Literally, what is that gonna do against Metrom's Vessel? I want y'all to tell me. He's gonna attack the skeletons. He's just gonna Oblivion and insta kill them. Like, it doesn't even matter. It literally does not matter if you have skeletons against Metrom's Vessel. It doesn't. The only thing that puts it in top of D is that you can revive a teammate, but it has like what, a 20 turn cooldown. Just bring a Light of Grace. Just bring a Light of Grace and you literally revive a teammate for free. So stupid. Paladin's S. I mean, come on now, bro. Paladin, it's gonna stay S for a while. Paladin is so powerful against Metrom's Vessel. Paladin is a Metrom's Vessel carry. I might even put it above Berserker, but I won't. You know, you can bring 5 Berserkers and win. You can't bring 5 Paladins and win. Paladin, Slime, with the Ice Rinse Shield, just keep on guarding. You're literally proccing so many debuffs on Metrom's Vessel. He's never gonna have his wings up. You know what I mean? All right, and let's move on to Rogue. I mean, against Metrom's Vessel, what is Rogue gonna do, dog? I mean, I guess it does have that one dagger fan thing that can be pretty good, and I think it can inflict Sundered. I don't remember if it's Rogue that can inflict Sundered or if it's a different dagger class, but Rogue is the farming class. You know what I mean? Like, Rogue isn't exactly for bosses, I would say, and like I don't know. I would put it like maybe yeah, I might put it actually in the bottom of D. Even like it really can't really do much. The masteries are like mainly just traps. It'll just apply traps. Like, you can put down traps, but you want a 5-stack against Metrom's Vessel, and when is Metrom's Vessel gonna attack you and proc your traps? You know what I mean? Let's go to Saint. Saint, you know, Saint is if you're not really too good with Metrom's Vessel, if you're not too good against Metrom's Vessel, Saint is basically required. That's why I'll put it top of A. I'm not gonna put it in no S. You know what I mean? But it's pretty damn good. You know what I mean? Like, you can heal up your teammate. You can, if you have a good Saint, it can carry. If you have a good Saint, it can carry Metrom's Vessel. If you have a good Saint that knows when to time his Narthana's procs, he knows when to Breath of Fungir, he can carry your Metrom's Vessel party and just keep everyone full. All right, and let's move on to Ranger. Now, Ranger, I'm gonna put it in. Okay, not S. My bad. Ranger, I'll put in like. I want to put it in like a low A, because it can apply Sundered with one of its masteries, and it applies pretty good debuffs, pretty good sustainability with the enrichment thing. But once again, it kind of gets buffed by dodging, and that's too luck based against Metrom's Vessel. Metrom's Vessel isn't always targeting you, you know what I mean? And with that, that's my Metrom's Vessel tier list. Drop a sub if you haven't already. And I want to announce something to y'all. I'm actually working on a game right now. It's called Ascension, and I'll drop the Discord in the description. Just join it up. It's a passion project. You know, don't worry about it being pay to win. Don't worry about it being all that and that. There's some sneaks right now. I'll actually play one on screen right now.
I am Atomy.
And yeah, by no means is that sneak fully finished. It is not fully finished, trust me. The animations will get better, it will look better. But that's one of the ultra class moves. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all. It is not anime based. That's another thing I'll tell y'all. A lot of people keep DMing me, is the game anime based? Is it anime based? It's gonna be turn based, and it's not gonna be based on any anime. It's gonna be original, alright? And yeah, if you're interested, just join up the Discord, and I'll see y'all in the next one, man.